Greetings from Industrial Safety Solutions, makers of the SafetyPro line of printers and supplies. In this series of videos, we're going to talk about troubleshooting problems with your printer hardware or your computer software. In this particular video, we're going to cover installing the print driver or issues you might run into while installing the print driver. So what should happen is when you power on that printer and connect it using the supplied cables, of course, you should get a green light on top of the printer, and Windows should automatically detect that the printer is there. At that point, what you need to do is go to industrialsafetysolution.com and download and run the installer from our website. Once that's completed, you want to turn the printer's power off for about 5 seconds and then back on again. And after all that, your printer should appear in the list of printers. Of course, if you're here watching this video, it means that probably didn't happen. So when things go wrong, very first things you should do is check all your cables, make sure you're using a standard printer scanner USB cord, make sure that it's connected snugly in the back of the printer, it's plugged into the right place. Oddly enough, on some the SafetyPro E line of printers that's out there, there's a Ethernet cable, and if you're not looking, you can kind of slide that USB into the Ethernet jack, and that's obviously not going to work. So make sure it's all plugged in. Power supply, if you make sure you're using the supplied power supply. If it's a brand new printer, that's not an issue, but if you've inherited this from another coworker, you might think that you can plug in any power supply that fits in the back of the printer. What you need to do is follow that power cord down to the transformer, and on the label on that transformer, make sure that the output voltage is between 19 and 24 volts, and the output amps is higher than 3.75. That's the minimum. If that's the case, you should be good to go. Next troubleshooting step when things go wrong, real easy, just power cycle the printer. If you've ran the driver installer and it's not showing the printer in your list of printers, go ahead and turn the printer's power off for about 5 seconds, turn it back on. And then if that's still not showing up, rerun the driver setup program. Make sure you have admin rights. You're going to need those to install the driver, just like any print driver. And of course, if all that goes wrong still, go ahead and watch the rest of this video. We're going to walk through manually installing the printer. And visit our website, www.industrialsafetysolution.com. Click on the support link at the top right for more help. Okay, so let's dive right in. I've got a printer that's connected up, no driver installed yet. So what I'm going to do is, normally if there's no driver installed, you would power cycle the printer and rerun that driver setup. We're going to assume that you've done that and it didn't work. So let's go ahead and take a look at our system real quick. Right click on your Windows logo and go to Device Manager. Another way to get to Device Manager is you can left click on this and just start typing in device, and that'll bring up Device Manager. Okay. All right, now where we want to look is here under Universal Serial Bus Controllers. All right, this is what we're looking for. You see this line that says USB printing support? That means that Windows sees that you have a printer connected of some kind, but it doesn't know what to do with it. This is what shows up when the driver is not installed yet. So if for whatever reason you've run the installer and it hasn't connected the driver up with the printer, that's what's going to show up there. Let's go ahead and look at the next place, which is the classic control panel. You get there by clicking on the Windows logo and start typing the word control, and then you want to run this control panel app. There's different ways to do what we're doing in here. In Windows, this is the easiest one. In the upper right hand in the search box, just type in devices, and then under devices and printers you want to click view devices and printers. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. Alright, now these are our list of devices. Down here we want to scroll to the very bottom. Under printers is where we want to see our printer. It's obviously not there. Under unspecified is where we're going to see it until it's installed properly. So here you see USB printing support. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on this and go to Properties. Alright, if you click on the Hardware tab, you should see something like this right here. This is the USB descriptor, it's the USB string. That's built into the hardware so that when you plug it in, Windows knows what to do with it. Okay. In this case, Windows can see what it is, but it still doesn't know what to do with it. So a couple different routes you can go here. I'm going to go ahead and leave this right here. And let's go ahead and, well, I know this computer is configured properly. It's going to work properly if I run what I've downloaded. So if I go to my File Explorer and I go to Downloads, I've got the SafetyPro driver. If I run that again here, that's going to properly connect up with that printer. Okay, but I'm assuming that you're having trouble doing it that way and that you've already tried it at least twice after power cycling the printer. And so I'm going to cancel that. Show you a different way, a couple different ways actually. So from this screen right here, let's go ahead and minimize that. Remember, we went to the classic control panel, typed in devices, and got in right here to USB printing support. We right-clicked on that, and we went to the hardware tab. Right here, we're going to hit properties. And then I'm going to click change settings. And then I'm going to go to the driver tab and click update driver. At this point, I can say browse my computer for drivers. Now, it's already got that in there, but if it's your first time doing this, go ahead and click browse, and you want to go to local disk C, and then Industrial Safety Solutions and SafetyPro Drivers. That's how you find it. Local disk C, it's sometimes listed as OSC. It's your C drive. Go to Industrial Safety Solutions and then SafetyPro Driver and hit OK. All right, then you go ahead and hit next. And we might have to remove it, but let's go ahead and do it this way. Okay, this is normal. It means that the driver's not signed. It can't verify the publisher, which is us. If you see that, go ahead and click install this driver anyway. And seeing that actually is a good sign. It means the printer's talking to the driver files. Okay, so there you go. Successfully installed. Then if we go back, we can close this, and this is moved down from the unspecified up here to this section. So that's one way to manually install the printer driver. Another way, which I'll just show you briefly, is you go to the File Explorer, go to this PC, and then go to your local disk C again, right here, and then go to your Industrial Safety Solution folder and your SafetyPro Driver folder, and in here you're going to find a file called Driver Wizard, and it's going to be listed as an application. So if you double click on that, or if you need to right click and run as administrator, you can do that. It will give you the option to install printer drivers. So if you do it this way, here's what you need to do. You need to tell it it's connected to USB. At that point it will detect it. We already have it installed, so it's not going to see any additional printers. I'm just going to trick it into thinking that we're using something else. From this list of printer, you need to use the model that shows up when you plug in the printer. TSA-TTP and then a number, either 247 or 345. If you have the Evo style printer, it'll be TX300 or TX600, depending on if you have the 300 DPI model or the 600 DPI model. And then once you do that, you can just hit next and go through those same steps. Those are the two ways to manually install the printer driver. Again, this is only really necessary if you're having trouble getting it to install. But if you are, go ahead and go try those two steps. If you still have trouble, go ahead and give us a call. It's Industrial Safety Solutions, and our phone number is 877-762-9280, or you can visit us online at www.industrialsafetysolution.com and go to the support tab. Thanks.